Welcome. We're diving into a really critical decision in the world of GPU virtualization, how to pick the right hypervisor. When you're building an infrastructure for some pretty demanding workloads, this choice is honestly one of the most important ones you're going to make. Okay, before we get started, just a quick but important heads up. This is Module 12 of a much larger series. So everything we talk about today is general information, not specific advice for your setup. You'll always want to chat with your own experts before making any moves, and definitely pay close attention to the licensing stuff. It can get super complex, and we'll dig into that more in Module 14. So, here's our game plan for today. We'll start by talking about why this choice is so critical. That's the foundation. Then, we're going to put the 4 major platforms head-to-head. After that, I'll give you a solid framework for making your own decision, and finally, we'll try to decode the often tricky world of licensing costs.
All right, let's get right into it. The hypervisor, it's not just some item you tick off a list. You've got to think of it as the absolute bedrock of your entire GPU strategy. The choice you make here is going to define what's possible, how it performs, and, you guessed it, how much it's all going to cost.
And this quote just hits the nail on the head. It's not one isolated decision. It's a choice that creates this huge ripple effect across everything else. Getting this right from the beginning can save you from massive headaches and, frankly, a lot of money down the road. So who are the main players in this space? Let's throw the 4 big enterprise contenders into the ring and see where each one really shines. And, of course, where they might not be the best fit. First up, the one you were probably expecting, VMware vSphere. I mean, it's often seen as the heavyweight champion of enterprise virtualization, and for some pretty good reasons. The big story with vSphere is maturity. I'm talking about features like vMotion that let you live migrate a running GPU-powered VM. That's huge, and it's all deeply integrated into vCenter, which makes it a beast for enterprise VDI. Now, the trade-off, as you can see here, is the cost. All that enterprise polish and power comes with a pretty hefty price tag. Okay, next up, let's talk about the open-source powerhouse, Linux KVM. This is the go-to for folks who are all about raw performance and total flexibility. With KVM, it's all about one thing: performance. If you need speed that's practically bare metal, we're talking intense AI and machine learning workloads, KVM is often the top dog. There's a reason it's the engine behind a ton of major cloud GPU offerings. The catch? Well, all that power and flexibility means you really need some serious in-house expertise to manage it all effectively. Now for Microsoft Hyper-V. This is the obvious integrated choice for any organization that's already living and breathing in the Windows Server ecosystem. Hyper-V's biggest win is how snugly it fits into the Microsoft world. It just works with Windows Server and Azure Stack. And because the licensing is often bundled, it can be a really cost-effective way to get started. But, and this is important, its GPU features just aren't as mature as the others, and a key technology, RemoteFX, has been deprecated. That's a huge deal you have to keep in mind. And last but not least, we have Citrix Hypervisor. This is a platform that comes from a long line of application and desktop virtualization. It's in its DNA. This platform is absolutely laser-focused on one thing: delivering virtualized apps and desktops with killer GPU performance. If you're already a Citrix shop, the unified management through Citrix Studio is a dream come true. But you're probably not going to see it running a bunch of heavy-duty AI or high-performance computing workloads. It's just not what it's built for. I love this table because it just lays it all out so clearly. You can see at a glance how these platforms stack up. Are you a big enterprise VDI shop? vSphere is probably on your shortlist. Need every last drop of performance for AI? You're looking at KVM. It really all boils down to matching the platform to what you're actually trying to do. Okay, so we've met the 4 contenders. Now for the big question. How do you actually pick one for your own environment? It can feel like a lot, so let's build a really practical framework to walk you through it. We can break this whole complex choice down into 3 pretty manageable steps. First, we're going to look at the pure tech, the features. Second, we'll get into the operational, the human factors. And third, we'll tackle the all-important licensing costs. So for step 1, it's all about matching the features to your actual needs. You have to ask yourself, does this platform support the tech I need today? Things like NVIDIA's multi-instance GPU or MIG, which lets you slice up a physical GPU into smaller isolated instances. And what about tomorrow? You got to think about things like live migration for maintenance without downtime, or container support for your modern applications. Now, this next step is all about the human side of the equation. A platform is only as good as your team's ability to run it, right? So what can your team realistically and effectively support? Do you have a bunch of KVM gurus on staff, or is everyone trained and certified on vCenter? This question is honestly just as important as any feature checklist.
And now we get to the topic that can make or break your entire budget. It's something that, surprisingly, often gets treated like an afterthought: licensing.
Trust me on this one, the sticker price is never the full story, especially not with enterprise software. The second you start adding those specialized features you need for GPU virtualization, well, that's when you find out the real cost is buried deep in the fine print. What you really need to get your head around is that these licensing models are worlds apart. You've got VMware on one side with its per CPU model, where the cool GPU features are often locked away in the most expensive enterprise editions. And then on the other side, the core KVM hypervisor is totally free, but your costs come from paying for enterprise support and management tools. This isn't just a one-time purchase you make at the beginning of a project. The hypervisor you choose is going to directly affect your total cost of ownership for the entire life of your hardware. We're talking about years and years of financial impact from this one decision. And in the end, that's really the question you have to answer. The goal here is to pick a platform that doesn't just check the technical boxes, but one that also lines up perfectly with how your team works and what your budget can handle. The right choice doesn't just work, it truly empowers you and accelerates everything you're trying to do with GPU technology.